Hi everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm going to be playing around with a different sort of ink blending. I'm a huge fan of Laura Basson and Laurie Wilson and Debbie Hughes and Jennifer McGuire. They just have the best ink blending skills. And every time I try though, I have tendonitis in my right arm. And so I never get the results that they do and my arm just gets really inflamed. So I've been working on a different method to get that same result that they do. And I'm going to start by taking an A2 card made from Solar White. This is Nina Solar White, 110 pound. Already scored it and folded it in half. And then I'm going to mask off the top section using some blue painter's tape. And I'm just pressing it against my hand there to neutralize the sticky stuff on the back, because sometimes the tape is a little stickier than we want it to be and it ends up tearing the surface of the paper when we remove it. And you need to use something that is waterproof like this tape is. You don't want to use the paper tape because you're going to actually soak through it if you don't use something that is waterproof like this. So I'm just de-stickifying it to get it down there. That's a word, right? And then I'm going to position it on my nonstick craft sheet because I don't want to get any ink on my work surface there. And I'm going to be using Hero Art's Ombre ink pads. Now these pads are just amazing. The colors are beautiful. They blend just gorgeous together. And you want to make sure that you're working in the same direction as the divisions of the pads are. You don't want to go against the direction the divisions of the pads are lined up on. And I'm using a rubber brayer. You want to make sure you use a good quality rubber brayer like this one by Speedball. I've tried this with a plastic brayer and it just couldn't get the ink to really load up onto the brayer nicely. So this is going to give you much better results. So a Speedball real rubber brayer is the best. And I'm just rolling and lifting my brayer as I load up with ink in the same direction that the pads are divided. I keep saying this because I don't want you to ruin your pad. Ask me how I know. And then I'm going to go across the paper in the same method. Now, at first it went on a little splotchy because of the way the brayer was hitting the paper. But as I continued to brayer ink over the top and the ink started to dry, it smoothed out beautifully, as the Hero Arts inks always do. And you got this beautiful, gorgeous effect. And I used the peach ombre pad. I just love those colors, the gorgeous sunset effect. And then I'm going to take a cute cactus by Lawn Fawn and ink that up with some archival jet black and stamp kind of a silhouette effect there over this sunset type background. And then I'm going to take a little teeny tiny heart, and here's where my happy accident happened. Originally, I was going to clear emboss these little hearts to make them show up against the contrasting matte finish of the sunset and the cactus, etc., and have a really nice shiny finish to the hearts. But I didn't realize that the ink, even though it's dry to the touch, even after heat setting with a heat tool and applying the powder tool, it still wasn't completely dry enough to not let my detail clear embossing powder stick to it. And so it ended up sticking to everything on the whole ombre area of the card, and I had to toss it and start all over again. So, but I noticed something as I was looking at it in the garbage. I noticed after I brushed off all the clear embossing powder, and then I realized, you know what, I can't salvage this, so I threw it away. But as it dried, the hearts became more pronounced and started to show up. So I thought, you know what, let's try this again and see what happens if we don't apply any clear embossing powder. So now I've got my strip here on the card, and I'm going to go ahead and take the greeting and get that stamped into place. I'm just using that black strip as my guideline there. And you can't see the hearts that well at this point. I could see it better because I was looking directly at it. But you can see they're starting to show up ever so faintly. And when I first shot the card with my camera, they didn't show up all that well. So I set the card aside, just put it away. And then I came back later to look at it again, and I decided to shoot it again. And I noticed that the hearts were very, very pronounced this time. And wow, I couldn't believe the contrast. It's almost like they were bleach stamped into the ombre ink. And so it's such an awesome effect, but you do have to be patient and allow the inks to dry to get it to really show up well. The other thing I noticed is I had set it into a basket with slats, and the light coming through must have faded the ink in some of those spots. So you need to set it in a spot to dry where it's not going to get a pattern embedded into it as it's drying. All the supplies are available at ellenhutson.com, and thanks for watching.